I think I'm falling for you, Hyun-woo,
she whispered. His hand came up to cup her face, gentle, still asking permission even now. I already fell. The kiss was inevitable, passionate but respectful, his other hand at her waist, pulling her closer but not demanding, not taking, just giving. 6 months ago, Amelia Adeyemi didn't know this kind of touch existed. 6 months ago, she was locked in a bathroom with a broken arm, texting what she thought was her friend's number because her abusive boyfriend had found the money she'd been hiding to escape. 6 months ago, she never imagined she'd be here, safe, free, falling in love with a dangerous stranger who'd answered that desperate text. But that night, all she knew was terror. The bathroom tile was cold against Amelia Adeyemi's legs as she huddled against the tub, trying to make herself smaller, trying to disappear. She couldn't stop shaking. Every breath sent hot knives through her ribs, but it was nothing compared to the sickening angle of her right arm. Broken. Definitely broken. The sound of drawers being yanked open, furniture scraping across floors, James tearing through the apartment searching for more secrets echoed through the thin door. "Where else are you hiding money, Amelia?" James's voice cut through the chaos like a blade. "How long have you been planning to leave me?" Her phone lay on the floor beside her, screen cracked but still glowing. Blood dripped from her split lip onto the screen as she reached for it with her left hand, her right arm hanging useless at her side. He'd found the envelope, the one she'd hidden in the back of the linen closet. Tips from Marco's Italian restaurant where she handled customer service. Money she'd been saving for months, a few bills at a time, dreaming of the day she'd have enough to disappear. "You think you can leave me?" His voice was closer now, right outside the bathroom door. Then his footsteps retreated again. More crashing, more destruction. "After everything I've done for you, everything I've given you." Given her. Bruises? Fear? A prison disguised as a relationship. Her fingers trembled as she unlocked the phone. She needed help. She needed Sarah. Her friend had told her months ago to leave and had offered to help. She pulled up her messages, vision blurring with tears and pain. The beating had been brutal. When James found the envelope with cash, his face had gone blank. That terrifying emptiness that meant the worst was coming. Then came the fists, her ribs, her face, her back. "You're not going anywhere!" he'd screamed, dragging her to the bathroom. "You stay here while I find the rest. I know there's more." She'd tried to tell him that was all of it, $1,000 over 7 months. But he didn't believe her, never believed her. He'd shoved her inside, slammed the door, and she'd heard the click of the lock from outside, trapped with a broken arm and cracked ribs and no way out. She found what she thought was Sarah's contact and started typing with her one good hand. Each letter was agony. "Sarah, please help me. James found my money. He broke my arm, locked me in the bathroom. He's destroying the apartment looking for more. Please hurry. Can't call the police. Reese will cover for him again." Her thumb hovered over send. James's brother Reese was NYPD. Last time she'd tried to file a report, Reese made it disappear. Told her she was being dramatic, that James was just stressed, that she should be more supportive. She hit send, more crashing from the living room. "I'm going to find every penny, Amelia, and then we're going to have a real conversation about loyalty." Her phone buzzed. "Who is this?" Her heart stopped. Wrong number. In her panic, her blurred vision, she must have clicked a customer contact from the restaurant database. She was going to die here. "Please," she typed frantically. "Not a prank. My boyfriend is hurting me. Locked me in the bathroom. The police won't help. His brother is a cop." 3 dots appeared instantly. "Address." She sent it. 47 Lexington Ave, Apt 6C, James Sinclair. "Please hurry." "I'm on my way." Cold. efficient. But something made her believe them. The sounds of destruction continued. James was in the bedroom now. She heard her dresser drawers being emptied, clothes hitting the floor. He was going to tear apart everything she owned, looking for money that didn't exist. "There's nothing else!" she screamed through the door, pain making her voice crack. "That was all of it! Please, James!" The sound stopped. Footsteps approached the bathroom door. Her breath caught. "How long?" His voice was eerily calm now. Dangerous calm. "How long have you been planning to abandon me?" "I wasn't!" "Don't lie to me!" The door shook as he kicked it. Once, twice. The frame held but barely. She pressed into the corner, cradling her broken arm. The pain made everything fuzzy. Who had she texted? Would they actually come? Or would James break through that door first? "You know what happens to people who betray me, Amelia." Another kick. The frame splintered slightly. "You know what I do to liars." She couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. Then a sound that changed everything. The apartment door. Someone was at the apartment door. The kicking stopped. What the hell? James's footsteps moved away from the bathroom toward the front door. Who? The apartment door exploded inward. Not a knock. Not the police. Just wood and metal surrendering to force. James's voice, shocked. "Hey, you can't just—" His words ended with a sickening thud, scuffling, a grunt, silence. Footsteps approached the bathroom, measured, unhurried. Had she invited something worse? A soft knock, then a man's voice, deep, controlled. "Are you in there?" She couldn't answer. Fear had stolen her voice. "The door's locked from the outside. I'm going to break it down. Step away from the door if you can." She managed to slide sideways, away from the door. One kick, and the lock gave way. The door swung open. A man appeared in the doorway. Tall, dark hair, expensive suit without a wrinkle, despite breaking through a door. His eyes swept the bathroom, landed on her, and something flickered when he saw her injuries. He turned slightly. "Junwo, call Dr. McCall. Tell him to meet us at the safe house. Now." Back to her, voice softer. "My name is Kang Hyun Woo. You texted me. You're safe now." She stammered. "I'm Amelia Adeyemi." She said. 2 more men appeared behind him. They moved with military precision, like violence was their profession. She should have been terrified. But looking at this stranger who'd responded to a wrong number, she felt something she hadn't felt in 3 years. Hope. "Can you walk?" I don't know." He stepped forward, movements careful. "I'm going to help you up. It'll hurt, but we need to move fast, okay?" James never asked permission. This stranger was asking. Yes. His hand was gentle but firm, helping her up. The room spun. She would have fallen if he hadn't steadied her. Through the bathroom door, she saw James on the floor, conscious but restrained by one of the men. His nose was bleeding. Cash from her envelope was scattered across the living room floor like evidence of her betrayal. His eyes found hers with a promise of violence that made her gasp. Hyun-woo shifted, blocking her view. "Don't look at him. Look at me." She did. His eyes were steady, calm, like the eye of a hurricane. "He can't hurt you anymore. Understand?" She wanted to believe him so badly it hurt worse than her broken bones. What are you going to do to him?" Her voice cracked. Something dangerous flickered across Hyun-woo's face. "What would you like me to do?" The question hung in the air between them. James started shouting from the living room, threats and curses. Hyun-woo didn't even glance back. "I want—" She swallowed hard. "I want him to never touch me again. Done." He said it like a fact, not a promise. Junwo, make sure Mr. Sinclair understands the new reality. Be creative. "Who are you?" A slight smile, but it didn't reach his eyes. Someone who really hates men who hurt women, and someone who received a very interesting text message 20 minutes ago. He glanced at the scattered cash on the floor. You were trying to reach a friend? Sarah, my friend. I must have clicked the wrong contact. You were in our system at the restaurant. Marco's. I do customer service there. Marco's on 5th Avenue. She nodded. His hand remained steady on her good arm. Small world, or fate. Depends what you believe. From the living room came the sound of Junwo's voice, low and menacing, followed by James's panicked response. She couldn't make out words, but the tone was clear. We need to go, Hyunwoo said. Dr. McCall is waiting. That arm needs immediate attention. I don't understand. Why are you helping me? You don't know me. His jaw tightened. Let's just say I have personal reasons for responding to messages like yours, and leave it at that for now. The black Escalade smelled like leather and something else, something expensive. Amelia sat in the back seat, Kang Hyun-woo beside her, his presence somehow both comforting and terrifying. Junwo drove, and they left the chaos of her apartment behind. Every pothole sent lightning through her ribs. She bit her lip to keep from crying out, tasting blood again. How far? Hyunwoo asked Junwo. 15 minutes. Dr. McCall is already there. Amelia stared out the window at New York sliding past, her city, her prison. You're thinking too loud, Hyunwoo said quietly. She turned to him. What? I can hear you thinking, wondering if you made a mistake, if I'm worse than what you left. Her silence was enough. He shifted slightly, careful not to jostle her. Smart? You should wonder. You don't know me. For all you know, I'm taking you somewhere worse. Are you? I'm not. Simple. Direct. But you have no reason to believe me yet, so I won't try to convince you. You'll see for yourself. The honesty disarmed her more than reassurance would have. James had always been so convincing with his promises. Junwo turned onto a quieter street, then into an underground parking garage. The building looked expensive, the kind of place she'd walked past 1,000 times and never imagined being inside. Another man was waiting by the elevator, older, grey hair, carrying a medical bag. He took one look at Amelia and his expression tightened. Dr. McCall, Hyunwoo said. This is Amelia Adeyemi, Ms. Adeyemi. Dr. McCall's voice was gentle, professional. Let's get you upstairs and see what we're working with. The elevator ride made her stomach lurch, or maybe that was everything else. The doors opened directly into an apartment that could have been in a magazine. Guest room, Hyunwoo directed, and Dr. McCall guided her down a hallway. The room was bigger than her entire apartment with James. The bed looked like a cloud. Dr. McCall helped her sit on the edge, and she finally let herself acknowledge how much everything hurt. I need to examine you, Dr. McCall said. I'll be as gentle as possible, but it's going to hurt. Can you tell me what happened? The words stuck in her throat. Hyunwoo appeared in the doorway. Would it be easier if I left? He asked. She surprised herself. No, stay, please. He nodded, leaning against the wall, far enough to give space, but close enough that she could see him. She told Dr. McCall everything. The examination was excruciating. He cut away her shirt to reveal the bruises she knew were there, purple and black across her ribs, her back, her shoulders. His face remained neutral, professional, but she saw his jaw clench, broken radius and ulnar in the right arm, he said, gently probing. Clean breaks, thankfully. 3 cracked ribs, possibly 4. Mild concussion. This laceration on your scalp needs 12 stitches. He looked at her. How long has this been happening? A while, she whispered. And tonight. He found money I'd been saving. I was planning to leave. Hyunwoo's hand flexed at his side. Just once. but she saw it. Dr. McCall worked for the next hour. Setting her arm was agony that made her scream into a towel he provided. The casting process took time, careful wrapping and moulding, until her forearm was encased in white plaster from below her elbow to her knuckles. Her fingers could barely move. Everything felt heavy, foreign. He wrapped her ribs tight, restricting her breathing but stabilizing the cracks, stitched her scalp with meticulous precision, gave her something for the pain that made the edges blur. She needs rest, Dr. McCall told Hyun-woo. The next few days will be rough. I'll check on her tomorrow. Thank you. After Dr. McCall left, Hyun-woo brought her water and pills. For pain? For sleep? Dr. McCall said you probably won't rest otherwise. She took them. There's a woman on staff, Mrs. Johnson. She'll help you change into something more comfortable. He moved toward the door. The bathroom is through there if you need it. She will assist with anything you can't manage with one arm. Wait! Her voice cracked. What happens now? With James? Hyun-woo turned back. Jun-woo is making sure he understands that you're no longer accessible to him, that any attempt to find you or hurt you will have severe consequences. Consequences. The kind that makes men like James Sinclair rethink their life choices. His expression was cold. And his brother Reese. He's been informed that his protection of James ends tonight. One of my associates is having a conversation with him right now about the dangers of police corruption. Her head spun. Who are you? Really? I told you. Someone with resources who doesn't like bullies. He paused. Get some rest, Amelia. We'll talk more tomorrow. He left, and moments later a woman in her 50s appeared. Kind eyes, gentle hands. Ms. Adeyemi, I'm Mrs. Johnson. Let me help you get comfortable. The process was humiliating. Amelia couldn't lift her arms to remove her torn, blood-stained clothes, couldn't manage buttons or zippers with the cast. Mrs. Johnson worked efficiently, professionally, never making her feel worse than she already did. The pajamas were soft, loose enough to accommodate the cast and wrapped ribs. Mrs. Johnson helped her into bed, adjusted pillows to support her injured arm, and made sure water was within reach. Try to sleep, she said gently. You're safe now. But sleep wouldn't come. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw James's face, felt his hands, heard his voice, promising it would be different this time. The pain medication made everything fuzzy, but her mind wouldn't stop racing. What was Kang Hyun-woo? Mob? Mafia? Something worse? Why did he really help her? What would he want in return? Nothing was free. James taught her that. She must have dozed eventually, because she woke to darkness and panic. Couldn't breathe. The room was too dark. James was coming. He was going to find her. He always found her. She stumbled out of bed, pain shooting through everything, and crashed into the doorframe. A sob tore from her throat before she could stop it. Light flooded the hallway. Hyun-woo appeared in seconds, wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt. Nightmare? He asked, not coming closer. She nodded, shaking so hard she thought she'd fall apart. You're safe here. He gestured down the hallway. Come on, I'll make tea. You won't fall asleep again right away anyway. She followed him to a massive kitchen. He moved with quiet efficiency, putting on water, pulling out cups. The mundane domesticity of it was surreal. How long have you been awake? She asked. I don't sleep much. He set a cup in front of her. Green tea. The scent was calming. Old habit. From what? Another conversation for another time. He leaned against the counter. You worked at Marco's for how long? 2 years. Good restaurant. Marco's a good man. You know him? I know a lot of people. He sipped his tea. What did you do before Marco's? I was in school. NYU, art history. The memory felt like it belonged to someone else. I wanted to work with kids, art therapy for trauma survivors. Then I graduated and met James at a gallery opening, and you can imagine what happened next. Do you miss it? The art. Every day. A phone buzzed. Hyun-woo checked it, and something shifted in his expression. Junwo's done, and James Sinclair won't be a problem anymore. Neither will his brother. What does that mean? It means they understand the new reality. He set his phone down. She should have been relieved. Instead, she felt numb. How will I repay you? I don't have anything. He took everything. You don't owe me anything. Everyone wants something. Not from you. His voice was firm. Tomorrow, we'll figure out the next steps. Get you a new phone. New ID if needed. Access to your own accounts. Whatever you need to rebuild. Why are you doing this? He was quiet for a long moment. Because someone should have done it for my sister. And no one did. The raw pain in those words stopped her breath. Tomorrow, he said. Tonight. Just survive tonight. That's enough. She finished her tea in silence. He walked her back to the guest room, and this time when she lay down, exhaustion won. Her last thought before sleep took her was that she'd texted a wrong number. A random customer from the restaurant database. What were the odds? And what would he want when the bill came due? Wait, my dear friends, before we continue, let me ask you something. Amelia just escaped death with a stranger who responded to a wrong number text, a man with power. Would you trust him? Or would you be asking the same question she is? What does he want in return? If you're already hooked on this story, do me a favour, hit that like button right now. It tells me you want more stories like this. Do you think Hyun-woo is a good guy? He just made James and a corrupt cop vanish. That's not normal power. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button right now so you never miss a moment of these dark romance stories. Now, let's see who Kang Hyun-woo really is. Amelia woke to sunlight streaming through the windows. The cast on her arm reminded her about the events of last night, the ache in her ribs, the stitches pulling at her scalp. The Manhattan skyline stretched beyond the glass, the city that had been her prison, now maybe becoming something else. She was in Kang Hyun-woo's penthouse, safe, maybe. Everything hurt. The cast made simple tasks impossible. She couldn't even push herself up properly with one arm. Had to roll sideways, use momentum, nearly fell trying to stand. The bathroom was a nightmare. Brushing her teeth left-handed, trying to wash her face without getting the cast wet. Her hair was a disaster she couldn't fix. She shuffled to the closet, found clothes that actually fit. Someone had stocked it carefully. Jeans, sweaters with loose sleeves that could accommodate the cast, undergarments still in packaging, even shoes in her size. Getting dressed was humiliating. She managed underwear and loose sweatpants. The sweater defeated her completely. Her right arm wouldn't cooperate. The cast too bulky, too rigid. A soft knock. Ms. Adeyemi, it's Mrs. Johnson. May I come in? Amelia wanted to say no, wanted to prove she could do this herself, but pride didn't change reality. Yes, please. She entered, took in the situation without judgment, and helped her into the sweater with practiced efficiency. The cast will be challenging for a while. You'll adjust. Now, breakfast is ready. Come and eat. Hyun-woo was in the kitchen, already dressed for business. Expensive suit, perfectly tailored. He looked like he belonged in a boardroom, not breaking through apartment doors to rescue strangers. How'd you sleep? He asked, plating eggs and rice. Better than I expected. Amelia struggled to climb onto the bar stool with one arm. He noticed, but didn't help. Let her figure it out. Good. Your body needs rest to heal. He set food in front of her, then pulled out a phone. New. Expensive. Already set up. Your number's the same. I had it ported over. She stared at it. I can't afford this. You're not buying it. I am. He slid a prepaid card across the counter. There's $5,000 on it. This city is expensive. You'll need resources to rebuild. I can't accept this. You can, and you will. His tone was firm, but not unkind. Before you argue, it's not charity. Consider it an advance on future earnings. You can pay me back when you're on your feet. But right now, you need resources. Phone, money, independence. Her fingers closed around the card. He was right. She hated that he was right. I will pay you back. Every cent. I know. A slight smile. You're too stubborn not to. They ate in silence for a moment. Then Amelia set down her fork, the cast making a dull thud against the marble. There is something about you. You're not just a businessman, are you? The smile faded. No, I'm not. So, what are you? Hyunwoo leaned back, studying her. You really want to know? I'm sleeping in your apartment, eating your food, taking your money. Yeah. I want to know who you really are. Fair enough. He poured more tea. I run an organization. Organization? She asked, though she already knew. Don't insult either of us by pretending you don't know what I mean. His tone was matter of fact. I'm a criminal, Amelia. I run drugs, guns, protection rackets. I own legitimate businesses to launder money, restaurants, real estate, import companies. Her appetite disappeared. You're a drug dealer. Among other things, yes. She should have been terrified, should have run, but something about his honesty kept her in that seat. What don't you do? Human trafficking, anything involving children, prostitution rings. His voice went cold. Only cowards trade in people. I have lines I don't cross. This city has enough predators. I'm not one of them. Why? Why build all this? Hyunwoo was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice carried weight she hadn't heard before. I had a sister, Min-ji. She was brilliant. Full scholarship to Columbia. Biochemistry. She was going to change the world. Past tense. Amelia's chest tightened. I was still in Korea when she started school here, working garbage jobs, barely surviving. Min-ji was my hope, our family's hope. She loved this city, thought it was full of opportunity. He stared at his tea. Second year, she started dating an American grad student, rich family from the Upper West Side. Old money, good breeding. I didn't know anything was wrong until it was too late. He hurt her. He killed her. The words were flat, emotionless, controlled. Beat her so badly she had a brain hemorrhage. She died alone in a hospital because I couldn't get here in time. Oh, God. His family had money, connections that own half of Manhattan. They paid off the right people. He got 18 months for assault. Assault. Hyunwoo's jaw clenched. What happened to him? The boyfriend? Hyunwoo's eyes met hers. He got what he deserved. That's all you need to know. A chill ran through her, but she didn't look away. I came to New York after her funeral, made a promise to her grave. His voice cracked slightly. I was going to build something that would have protected her, an organization strong enough that men like him couldn't buy their way out, that the NYPD couldn't ignore because they'd be on my payroll instead. The law failed her. The law fails people every day. Your ex's cop brother proved that. The system protects men like James Sinclair and the grad student who killed Min-ji. It fails women like you and my sister. Amelia couldn't argue. Reese had made her police reports disappear, had told her she was dramatic, overreacting. So, you operate outside it. I operate in the spaces where the law doesn't reach. Or one, I'm not a good man, Amelia. Don't mistake what I did for you as heroism. I'm a criminal who happens to have a code, but that code is real. And it means you're safe. From James, from anyone. He said it like a fact, Junwo appeared in the doorway with two other men. One was covered in tattoos, moved like violence was his first language. The other wore a suit that screamed City Hall Connections. Boss, Junwo said. Updates. Hyunwoo nodded at Amelia. You should hear this. The tattooed one, Minho, spoke first. James Sinclair has been relocated. Escorted him myself. Put him on a Greyhound to Seattle. One-way ticket. He understands that New York is off limits. Permanently. The suited man, Dae Jung, stepped forward. Officer Reese Sinclair is on administrative leave pending investigation. Filed IA complaints at one police plaza with documented evidence. Deleted body cam footage. Buried domestic violence reports. Financial irregularities. His career is over. The threat was clear, even unspoken. Hyunwoo's reach extended throughout the city and beyond. Hyunwoo dismissed the men with a nod. What do you want from me? The question she'd been afraid to ask. For all this, what's the cost? Hyunwoo leaned forward. Live your life. Heal. Don't let him win by staying afraid. That's what I want. Show Minji's memory that survivors can thrive here. That New York doesn't have to destroy women. That's it? You think I want something else? His tone sharpened. You don't owe me loyalty to my organization. Don't owe me silence about what I do. And you definitely don't owe me anything personal. I'm not saving you for myself, Amelia. I'm saving you for my sister. The honesty gutted her. Why do I trust you? A bitter smile. Because I don't pretend to be something I'm not. Cops hide behind badges while taking bribes. Politicians talk about justice while taking campaign money from abusers. I'm honest about what I am. In this city, that matters. You're a criminal. Yes, but I'm a criminal who keeps his word. 1 week passed in that Manhattan penthouse. Dr. McCall visited daily, monitoring her healing. The cast became a familiar weight. The pain lessened. Her body slowly remembered how to exist without waiting for the next blow. Hyunwoo gave her space, but was always present. Never crowding, never demanding. Just there. On the 8th day, he asked if she wanted to see something. They drove to Queens, crossing the East River into a different world. Flushing. The streets were packed with Korean and Chinese businesses, signs in multiple languages, the smell of street food mixing with exhaust. This was the New York tourists didn't see. Eastern Sun Youth Center sat on Roosevelt Avenue, near the 7 train. The building was clean, well-maintained. Inside, kids ranged from elementary to high school age, loud, alive, rough around the edges in a way Amelia recognized. Blake runs it, Hyunwoo explained. We fund everything, after-school programs, meals, tutoring, whatever they need. A black man in his 40s approached, warm eyes that had seen things. Mr. Kang, good to see you. Blake, this is Amelia Adiemi, potential art coordinator. Blake's face lit up. The position's been empty for months. These kids need creative outlets desperately. He showed her the art room. Empty now, but it had potential. Large windows, good light, storage space. She could already imagine what it could become. What happened to your arm? A girl's voice. Amelia turned. Maybe 14, Dominican features, eyes that had seen too much too young. Someone hurt me, Amelia said honestly, but I got away. The girl, Lucia, pulled up her sleeve. Cigarette burn scars dotted her forearm. Someone hurt me too, my mum's boyfriend. Amelia's throat tightened. Are you safe now? I am now. Lucia shrugged. I like art. Drawing helps me forget. Yeah, Amelia whispered. It does. Hyunwoo watched from the doorway as she talked with Lucia, with other kids. They gravitated toward her. Maybe they sensed she understood. I'll take it, Amelia told Blake. The job. When can I start? 5 weeks, when the cast comes off. Perfect. In the car back to Manhattan, Hyun-woo said, "You're good with them. They need someone who's survived, not someone perfect. Min-ji would have liked you." It was the highest compliment he could give. Back at the penthouse that evening, Manhattan stretched below them in endless light. Amelia struggled to open a water bottle. Hyun-woo took it without comment, opened it, handed it back. They stood at the windows in comfortable silence. "Thank you," Amelia said, "for treating me like a person, for giving me choices." He didn't respond immediately. "What happens when I don't need protection anymore?" she asked. Hyun-woo's expression shifted, something careful in his eyes. "Then you'll be free. That's the point. And you," he was quiet, "I want you to thrive, to prove that what happened to Min-ji doesn't have to be every story." But something in his eyes suggested he'd thought about that question more than he admitted. Both of them stood there, looking out at Manhattan, the city that connected them, the city that had taken so much from both. Amelia's cast rested against the window glass. 5 more weeks until it came off, 5 more weeks until she started her new job. For now, this was enough. Safety, purpose, hope. The city lights stretched endlessly. Below, and for the first time in 3 years, Amelia Adeyemi felt like she might actually survive this. 5 weeks passed faster than she expected. Dr. McCall's office smelled like antiseptic and hope. The cast saw buzzed against her arm, vibrating through bone. She gripped the chair with her free hand, knuckles white. The plaster split, cracked, fell away in chunks. Her arm emerged pale and thin, like something excavated from ruins. "Flex your fingers for me." She did, slow, careful. Everything felt stiff, foreign. "How does it look?" Hyun-woo asked from the doorway. "Weak," Dr. McCall said, rotating her wrist gently. "The muscles atrophied. Physical therapy starts next week. 2 sessions minimum. You'll need to rebuild strength." Amelia nodded, but all she could think about was tomorrow, her first day at Eastern Sun Youth Centre. Real work, real purpose. In the elevator down, she tested her arm's range of motion, wincing at the stiffness. "You ready for tomorrow?" Hyun-woo asked. "Terrified," she admitted. "What if the kids don't respond to me? What if I'm not good enough?" "You'll be perfect." Not reassurance, just fact. The certainty in his voice steadied her. That night, she couldn't sleep. Laid out 3 different outfits, reorganised her art supplies twice, finally gave up and made tea at 2 in the morning. Her phone buzzed. Hyun-woo. "Stop overthinking. You've got this." She smiled despite herself. "How did you know I was awake?" Hyun-woo. "Because I know you." Something warm bloomed in her chest, dangerous and hopeful at the same time. The youth centre smelled like chalk and teenage energy, kids everywhere, loud, chaotic, alive. Blake met her at the entrance. "Ready to meet your students?" "As ready as I'll ever be." The art room flooded with morning light through large windows, blank canvases stacked against walls, supplies organised on shelves. A fresh start. "They'll trickle in over the next hour," Blake explained. "After-school programme, ages 12 to 17. Some are court-mandated. Others come because they want to. All of them need this." Amelia arranged paintbrushes, set out paper, tried to calm her shaking hands. The first kid arrived at 3:15. Lucia, the girl with cigarette burn scars. "You came back," Lucia said, surprised. "I told you I would." "Adults say a lot of things." Lucia dropped her backpack. "They don't usually mean it. I'm not most adults." By 4 o'clock, 8 kids filled the room, quiet at first, guarded. They worked, brushes against canvas, quiet conversations. Lucia painted a garden with no people. A boy named Michael painted his mother's smile before she got sick. When the session ended, Lucia lingered. Same time Thursday. Yeah, Lucia actually smiled. Thanks for not making us talk about feelings and shit. The art does that for you. 6 months blurred by. Amelia moved into her own apartment 3 blocks from the youth centre. She'd called Sarah, and they'd talked for hours, her friend crying with relief. They met for coffee in Brooklyn, Sarah hugging her so tight it hurt her still healing ribs. It felt like reclaiming pieces of herself. Hyun-woo enrolled her in self-defense classes, twice a week at a private gym his organisation used. You need to know you can protect yourself, he said, not because I won't be there, but because you need to know you can. Jin, her instructor, was ex-military, patient but demanding. She learned strikes, escapes, how to break holds, how to fight back. Hyun-woo watched sometimes, pride in his eyes when she nailed difficult moves. Their weekly dinners continued. But something shifted. His hand steadying her during grappling techniques, lingering, him bringing her favourite coffee to the youth centre, her laughing at his dry humour. Stolen glances that lasted too long. Then Devon snapped. 3 months into teaching, the kid threw a chair across the art room, screamed about his father who beat his mother. The crash of wood against walls sent Amelia somewhere else. Bathroom door splintering. James's rage, her broken arm. She froze, couldn't breathe, couldn't move. Blake handled Devon, got him calm, removed him from the room. The other kids watched Amelia with careful eyes. I'm okay, she told them, voice shaking. Sometimes loud noises are hard, that's normal. But her hands shook for an hour after. Blake found her in the supply closet during break, trying to pull herself together. You okay? He asked gently. I'm fine, she lied. You don't have to be. Blake leaned against the doorframe. This work brings things up. That's normal. She nodded, throat tight. I thought I was past this. Healing isn't a straight line, he said. Take the rest of the day if you need. She didn't, finished her session, but told Hyun-woo about it that night over dinner. A kid named Devon threw a chair today, she said quietly, pushing noodles around her plate. The sound, it took me right back, just for a moment. He set down his chopsticks, listening. I froze, couldn't move. Blake had to handle it. She hated the shame in her voice. I felt so weak I wanted to run. But you finished the day, Hyun-woo said. You didn't run. That's what matters. He reached across the table, took her hand. Healing isn't linear. Sometimes it echoes. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever feel completely safe again, she admitted quietly. Not scared, just safe. Safety isn't about never being afraid. His voice was soft. It's about knowing you can handle whatever comes. You're already doing that. She looked at him, really looked. This man who'd responded to a wrong number, who'd given her space to heal, who believed she could be strong when she didn't believe it herself. Thank you, she whispered, for everything. You did this yourself. I just opened the door. A week later, leaving the youth centre after a late session, Amelia felt it, eyes on her back, prickling awareness that made her skin crawl. She turned, scanned the street. Nothing, just evening traffic and strangers hurrying past. Paranoia, she told herself, just old fears surfacing, but the feeling followed her to the subway. She looked over her shoulder twice before descending the stairs. Nothing. No one. She shook it off. Later that week, Hyun-woo brought dinner to her apartment. Thai food, her favourite. They sat on her small couch, containers spread across the coffee table, talking, laughing. The tension between them, electric and undeniable now. I should go, he said eventually, but didn't move. Or you could stay. Watch a movie or something. He searched her eyes. You sure? I'm sure. They settled back on the couch, his arm along the back, not quite touching her, some action movie playing that neither of them watched. She shifted closer, testing. His hand dropped to her shoulder, natural, easy. She turned to face him, their faces inches apart. "I think I'm falling for you, Hyunwoo," she whispered. His hand came up to cup her face, gentle, still asking permission even now. "I already fell." The kiss was inevitable, passionate but respectful, his other hand at her waist, pulling her closer, but not demanding, not taking, just giving. When they finally pulled apart, she was breathless. He pressed his forehead to hers. "I wanted you to be ready, to choose this." "I'm choosing you," she said. He smiled, rare and genuine. They spent the rest of the evening wrapped in each other, talking between kisses, building something real, something that felt like forever. When he left near midnight, Amelia stood at her window watching his car pull away. The city glowed below, peaceful, safe. She didn't see the figure across the street, didn't notice the man in the shadows watching her window, cigarette glowing orange in the dark. James Sinclair lit another cigarette with shaking hands. He'd been back in New York for 2 weeks, staying off the grid, sleeping in his car, watching, planning. His brother wouldn't return his calls. The job in Seattle lasted 3 weeks before they found his record. Everything he'd built was gone, and it was all her fault. He flicked the cigarette into the gutter and walked away into the shadows. But he'd be back, soon. "Hold on, Amelia," he said. One evening, Hyun-woo texted around 6. Hyun-woo, "Meeting running long. I'll bring dinner to the centre when I'm done. Are you still working late?" Amelia, "Yeah, I want to finish this piece before tomorrow's session. Take your time." She stayed late at the youth centre. It had become routine. When she had work to finish, lesson plans, her own art projects, grant applications, she stayed after the kids left. The quiet helped her focus. Tonight, she was working on a canvas for the lobby, something bright and hopeful. By 7:30, the building was empty. Just Amelia cleaning brushes, stepping back to examine her work. Hyun-woo would be there soon, maybe 20 minutes. The overhead lights hummed. Traffic sounds filtered through closed windows. She didn't hear the side door open, didn't hear footsteps in the hallway. "Hello, Amelia." She spun, dropped a paintbrush. James stood in the doorway, a thinner, unshaven, eyes wild with something that looked like madness. A gun hung loose in his right hand. Surprised, his voice cracked. "You thought I'd just disappear, stay gone like a good little boy." Her heart slammed against her ribs, but she didn't freeze. Not this time. "How did you get in here?" "Don't worry your head about that." He stepped inside. "We need to talk." "We have nothing to talk about." "Nothing." His voice exploded. The gun came up, shaking. "You destroyed me, cost me everything." "Stay calm. Don't show fear." Jin's voice in her head. "Fear makes them feel powerful." "You destroyed yourself, James." Wrong thing to say. His face went red. "I gave you everything. A home, security, love, and you betrayed me." Spit flew from his mouth. "My own brother won't return my calls because of you. Because of what you did to me." Her voice was steady, stronger than she felt. "Reese lost his badge for corruption. That's on him. You're nothing without that Korean bastard protecting you. His name is Hyun-woo, and you're wrong." She remembered the self-defense mat. "I'm everything I choose to be." The gun steadied, aimed at her chest. "You think you're so strong now?" James's laugh was broken. "You're still the same scared girl who locked herself in the bathroom. You locked me in the bathroom." The correction felt important, and I'm not that girl anymore. He fired the gun, aiming at the ceiling. 6 months of training compressed into 3 seconds. She stepped left as he wanted to fire again. Her ears rang, but her body remembered. Close the distance. Don't give him time to aim again. She grabbed his wrist with both hands, twisted hard the way Jin taught her. The gun clattered to the floor. James swung with his free hand, connected with her jaw. Pain exploded, but she didn't go down. He grabbed her throat, squeezed, just like before, just like 100 times before. But this time she knew what to do. Strike to the throat. He gagged. His grip loosened. Knee to the groin. He doubled over. She shoved him hard. He stumbled back into a table. Paint jars crashed to the floor. You bitch! He lunged again. She sidestepped, used his momentum against him. Her foot hooked his ankle. He went down hard, face first into spilled paint. She grabbed the gun, pointed it at him with shaking hands. Don't move! James rolled over. Blood and paint mixed on his face. He started crying. Please, Amelia. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The same words. Always the same words after. I didn't mean it. You know I love you. You don't know what love is. Please. I have nothing left. You're all I have. I'm not yours. I never was. The art room door slammed open. Hyunwoo entered like a storm. Junwo and 2 other men behind him. His meeting had ended 10 minutes ago. He'd driven straight here, heard the gunshot from the parking lot. Hyunwoo took in the scene, James on the floor covered in paint and blood, Amelia holding the gun, steady, unbroken. Are you good? His voice was tight with controlled panic. I'm okay. And she meant it. I handled it. Pride and terror warred in his expression. He crossed to her slowly, took the gun gently from her hands. You did. He pulled her against his chest. She felt his heart racing. You did it yourself. Junwo hauled James up. The man was still crying, still begging. Please, I'll leave. I'll never come back. Just let me go. Hyunwoo's expression went cold. You had your chance to leave. You came back. You brought a gun. You tried to kill her. I wasn't going to... Junwo. Call the real authorities. Federal, not NYPD. I want him buried under so many charges he never sees daylight again. James's face crumpled. No, please. Prison will kill me. Should have thought of that before you came back. Police arrived in minutes. Not local cops. Federal agents. The kind Hyunwoo's organisation had deep connections with. The kind who didn't look the other way. They took statements, photographed the scene, the bullet hole in the wall, the gun with James's prints, security footage from the hallway. Attempted murder, one agent said. Stalking, illegal firearm possession, violation of restraining order. He looked at James with disgust. You're looking at 15 to 20 minimum. James was led away in handcuffs, still crying, still making excuses, still blaming everyone but himself. Amelia watched him go and felt nothing. No fear, no anger, just emptiness where he used to live in her head. It's over, she whispered. Hyunwoo wrapped his arms around her from behind. It's over. She turned in his embrace, looked up at him. I was terrified, but I didn't freeze. You were amazing. He could have killed me, but he didn't. You didn't let him. His thumb brushed her jaw where James had hit her, already swelling. You fought back. You won. She started shaking then. Adrenaline crash. He held her through it. Didn't tell her to be strong, just held her while she fell apart and put herself back together. 1 year later. The Manhattan rooftop restaurant glowed with evening light. The city spread below them like a promise. Amelia wore a dress that made her feel beautiful, confident, hers. Hyunwoo had been nervous all through dinner. She noticed him checking his pocket repeatedly. You okay? She asked. Perfect. Just come here. He stood, led her to the rooftop edge. The city lights began to glow as the sun set. This view never gets old. she said. It doesn't. But he was looking at her. Amelia! She turned. He was on one knee. Her heart stopped. A year ago, you texted the wrong number. His voice shook slightly. You were looking for help, and somehow, impossibly, you found me. Or I found you. I don't know which. Hyun Woo, let me finish. He pulled out a ring, jade stone set in platinum. Simple, beautiful. I chose this myself. Jade represents wisdom, balance, and peace in Korean culture. Everything you've become, everything you are. Tears blurred her vision. You saved yourself, he continued. I just opened the door. But somewhere along the way, you saved me too. Showed me that what happened to Min-ji doesn't have to be every story. That survivors can thrive. That love can be built on respect and choice and partnership. Yes, she whispered. He smiled. I haven't asked yet. I don't care. Yes, hurry up and put the ring on my finger. He slid the ring onto her finger. It fit perfectly. They kissed as the sun set over Manhattan, the city that had tried to break them both, the city they'd survived, together. Amelia pulled back, laughing through tears. Best wrong number I ever dialed, best text I ever received. They stood there, wrapped in each other, as the city lights glowed brighter. James was in prison. Reese had lost everything. The system that failed her had finally worked. But more than that, Amelia had worked. She'd fought, she'd survived, she'd thrived, and she'd found love in the wreckage. Somewhere in the city, someone was sending a desperate text, hoping, praying. Maybe they'd reach the wrong number. Maybe that would be exactly right. Sometimes the wrong number is the only number that matters. The end. Have you ever had to choose between staying broken or fighting back? Amelia texted the wrong number and escaped, and James thought he could come back and take control. All because abusers never see their downfall coming until they're alone in a cell. But transformation is possible when you decide you're worth more, even when everyone told you that you weren't. If this story made you feel something real, if you stayed until the end because you needed to see her win, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications so these stories reach people searching for hope, wondering if escape is possible. Your subscription literally puts stories like this in front of someone who needs it tonight. Subscribe now. Be part of their breakthrough moment.